When Björn Ulvaeus wrote The Winner Takes It All in 1980, he poured his heart out. But the real pain was making his ex-wife Agnetha sing those heartbreaking lyrics about their failed marriage. She called it one of the hardest moments of her life. Björn's story starts long before that. Born in 1945 in Gothenburg, Sweden, he grew up in a modest home during tough times. Rationing lasted until 1951, and life was simple but hard. By age 5, he was already humming tunes from the radio. At 11, Björn got his first guitar and fell in love with skiffle music. Despite being shy and teased at school for liking Elvis while other kids played sports, he escaped into music, secretly forming bands and playing local fairs. Stage fright plagued him early on, causing panic attacks even during ABBA's fame decades later. But Björn kept pushing, winning local contests and touring with the Hootenanny Singers, a folk band he joined in 1963. They gained national attention performing in Swedish, standing out during the British pop invasion. Björn met Benny Andersson then, the partnership that would change music history. While trying to study law, Björn toured relentlessly and barely attended class. In 1966, their song Gabriel hit #1 in Sweden, though it sparked controversy over its Russian roots. From humble beginnings and personal struggles, Björn's journey was anything but easy, and it set the stage for the legendary success to come. Even though it didn't chart overseas, Björn's name was now known across Sweden. That same year, he and Benny Andersson started writing songs together. Their first try, Isn't It Easy to Say, recorded by the Hep Stars, failed to reach Eurovision in 1969. But Björn and Benny kept writing constantly. In 1968, they wrote Luva Sextiodal, a cheeky 60s ode sung by Britta Borg. Their creative bond was instant. Björn called it love at first sight. By 1969, they recorded their first album as a duo, Lika, Happiness, released in 1970. Björn sang most tracks. It was personal and acoustic. It sold just 10,000 copies but marked a shift. That summer, Björn met 19-year-old Agnetha Fältskog, a rising star. They clicked immediately, singing To Live With You Together. After her breakup with a German producer, Björn and Agnetha grew close and married in 1971. They had 2 children, Linda and Peter. Even after their 1979 divorce, their music spoke volumes. The Winner Takes It All was their farewell. In 1970, Björn, Benny, Agnetha, and Frida vacationed in Cyprus, performing Swedish folk songs for UN troops. It was the first time all 4 shared a stage. Their journey was humble. Before ABBA, the group's long name made little impact. Their 1972 single, People Need Love, did okay in Sweden but flopped abroad. Critics mocked their raw harmonies and too European sound. They struggled financially and emotionally but used the rejection as fuel. By 1973, Björn pushed for a simpler name, ABBA, an acronym of their first names. It was also the name of a Swedish fish company, which initially made people laugh and even ran contests mocking the band's fishy name. Despite the ridicule, Björn secured the trademark. That same year, recording Ring Ring turned tense. Björn experimented with new production techniques, clashing with their manager, Stig Andersson, who wanted polished hits. Fights almost broke up the band, with Björn threatening to quit over creative control. But when Ring Ring finally released, it soared to #1 in Sweden, selling 100,000 copies. Ring Ring wasn't a global hit, but it showed promise. In spring 1973, Björn took demo tapes to London, pitching to major labels like Decca and EMI. Most executives dismissed the music as too European, soft, and kitschy. One even laughed in his face. No deals came through, and Björn returned to Sweden broke and doubting himself. Only Australia showed some love, where Ring Ring hit #32. Then came the turning point. April 6, 1974, Eurovision in Brighton. ABBA performed Waterloo in dazzling outfits with Björn's silver star-shaped guitar shining on stage. Despite a last-minute scare with Sweden's conductor in a Napoleon costume, their energy won the night. They scored Sweden's first Eurovision victory and skyrocketed to international fame. Strangely, Björn's silver guitar vanished after the show and has never been found. By 1975, ABBA toured non-stop across Scandinavia. with crowds growing wild. Hits like SOS and Mamma Mia sold hundreds of thousands. But fame brought chaos. Agnetha hid from stalkers in Sydney, overwhelmed by anxiety. In 1976, Atlantic Records signed ABBA in the US, but American radio was skeptical. Then Dancing Queen changed everything, becoming their only US #1 and topping charts worldwide. The album Arrival sold 1 million copies in its first week. Their 1977 album featured deeper, more personal songs like The Name of the Game, inspired by Björn's therapy and emotional struggles. They even performed a mini-musical during tours, adding a new storytelling layer. Their biggest North American tour came in 1979, but behind the scenes, Björn and Agnetha's marriage was crumbling. They divorced that July after having 2 children. Björn poured his pain into The Winner Takes It All in 1980, which Agnetha had to sing, calling it one of the hardest moments of her life. That same year, Super Trooper exploded in popularity, with Björn's title track reflecting his exhaustion despite massive success. Yet tensions and creative fights grew within the band. By 1981, The Visitors showed a darker, more serious ABBA, reflecting divorce, loneliness, and heartbreak as Björn and Agnetha moved on from their marriage. ABBA's The Visitors album in 1981 revealed a darker side, with songs like One of Us and When All Is Said and Done sounding like goodbye letters. The title track carried a haunting fear, so much that the Soviet Union banned the album in 1982. Rumors swirled about drinking, affairs, and fights, and the studio no longer felt alive. Despite this, the album sold over 2.2 million copies worldwide. December 11, 1982 marked ABBA's last public performance. Björn announced the band was taking a break, what felt permanent. Both couples had divorced, Björn and Agnetha in 1980, Benny and Frida in 1981. Their final single barely made waves. For almost 40 years, silence. In 1984, Björn and Benny began a new chapter with the musical Chess, a Cold War drama that produced hits like One Night in Bangkok and I Know Him So Well. The London run was a success, but Broadway flopped. Björn later helped create ABBA the Museum in Stockholm, which opened in 2013. The museum attracted millions, featured original costumes, gold records, and even hologram karaoke. It boosted tourism and brought ABBA's story to life for fans worldwide. In 1999, Björn co-created Mamma Mia, a jukebox musical using ABBA's hits. It became a global phenomenon, earning billions, spawning a hit film starring Meryl Streep and running on Broadway for 14 years. Beneath the fun, the show echoed Björn's personal heartbreak from his divorces. Björn invested wisely in real estate, tech, and green energy, owning eco-friendly homes, a yacht, and a Tesla by the 2020s. After divorcing his second wife, Lena, in 2022, he struggled with loneliness. In 2021, he met Christina Sass, 28 years younger, and they married quietly in 2024 despite controversy. Christina brought stability, and Björn's happiness soared. ABBA's voyage overcame tech issues to sell 1.5 million tickets and earn $150 million in its first year. It emotionally saved Björn after his divorce, with plans to bring the show to Las Vegas in 2026. Please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share our videos.